Well, as you can see behind me is an old homestead we're going to come and have a look at today. It's called Koonalda Homestead. This is sort of out on the Nullarbor plain. It's about 18 kilometres off the road heading north to where the old Eyre Highway used to go through. So this place was built, and it says in the 1900s, so the inference is sort of like 40s, 50s around there. It used to be a sheep station, but also it used to be a train station, and the train used to stop down there years ago. So people would come here, they would get off, have a feed and camp here. People could camp here, and the people travelling by car could camp here and they could get fuel here. And as we have a bit of a look around, we'll have a look at different parts. It's got a bit of a garage over there and the house is here, and it's got a car graveyard. All the cars didn't make it across the Nullarbor. So we'll go for a wander around, and you can camp over here. You can see that a couple of caravans and things. We're just over there. So we thought we'd stop a night and just have a relax from driving, and a bit later on when the light's nice, it'll be nice to take a few photos. But we'll go and look at the garage first. Irene's looking at the house, so I don't want to interfere with her filming. And we'll just pick and choose our way around, and hope you find it interesting. Thanks. So you can pretty well, it says a camp, a few signs saying camp over there, camp over here, but I don't think it matters. You can just about camp anywhere. But here's the old garage. Now I presume in the old days there was no such thing as bringing a fuel tanker out here. You would have needed to bring everything out in drums, but you just imagine all the way out here and getting your fuel. Looks like they might have had tanks underneath there, so maybe I'm wrong. I'm just not too sure about that. So you pull up here and get your fuel, and over here is like a little shed, I suppose. It's like a little garage shed. Pay for your fuel and do whatever you do. But gosh, even there's still a few old things in there from the old days. I suppose on the shelves, you go to these old country garages, they have, cans of oil on there and a few car bits. But it's pretty interesting. Quite good. Little pieces left. Imagine that. I can remember those little wheel trims from the 60s when I was a kid. But yeah, a few flies here, so they're pretty friendly. But let's go a bit further and see what's around. We're talking to another guy, older guy, who's a bit of a chat. And we're talking about, in the old days, you think about when they found gold in WA, people with wheelbarrows just pushed wheelbarrows across, all this harsh terrain, no tracks, just pushed a wheelbarrow to West Australia to go and look for gold. But he was telling us a little bit of history, a bit of story. When you come over, you stop at Norseman to get fuel and things, and he was saying how they found gold in Norseman. And there was a guy on his horse one day, and when a horse stops, it sometimes kicks its feet. And when this horse stopped and was kicking its feet, it kicked out a piece of gold from the ground, and that was the beginning of a gold rush there. And they named the town Norseman after the guy's horse, whose horse was named Norseman, and that's how Norseman actually got its name, by the horse finding gold. That's an incredible story, isn't it? Just a rich piece of history. So we're going to have a look at this little house. I presume campers have a fire pit there sometimes. It's a bit of a risk with all this timber and that. But yeah, look at these old railway sleepers. Concrete gate. Look at all this house is made out of railway sleepers. So that's really quite incredible, isn't it? When you think about it. You can see the fence here. So we'll go inside and have a look at this house. Not sure if the roof has been replaced or if that's the original roof. It's got a few features of a long time ago, but let's go inside and have a look. So you think, try and put yourself back in the old days. Old cars coming across. It amazes me today that such old cars with such old poor design actually made it across the old unsealed road. But here you do, you drive here at night time, you get some fuel, you've just been on an old bumpy road all day. And there's a family living here, sheep farmers, and they let you come here. Probably you could buy a meal off them. Look at the texture in that in these walls. Quite incredible. Little old fly safe. You keep your food in there. I don't know if they have blocks of ice or something in it, maybe. Don't know what this used to be, but a few shelves made out of fruit boxes. I don't think the beds are original in here, but I'd say it's probably somewhere to where old Ma used to wash her clothes and things. But just imagine living out here, eh? So this part here we go. The old number 2 station. I'd say this is probably the laundry here. Have a big old copper fire and big copper that used to do your clothes in back then. Old ringer. Let's go inside and have a look. Wow. You know, let me tell you, if ever you go travelling, you've got to do this stuff. You've got to go out of your way to find those gems. But look at this old furniture. You know, when you stand in here, it smells like my house when I was a kid. All the smell of this old timber, and you know, you just imagine, you know, people would have stood in here and talked about the day, you know, the voices and the stories shared in here. Some of the old bottles and bits and bobs. Look at that old stove. That old stove would have been used to heat the whole house. Look in here now. Most rooms that are near the kitchen are a place where you sit down and eat your dinner. So it's possible this room was that. It's got a fridge here. And check out this old fridge. When I was a kid, we had fridges like this. Place for the eggs, butter. Old freezer. It's quite amazing, isn't it? Ooh, this is a big room. Wow, bookshelf and that. It's like a living kind of room. Aha! Here we go. Wow, look at that. Look at that old bathroom, old shower. Old bath, just the stories, you know. Who were the people that lived here? What were they about? Old bedroom, old cupboard. Look at the old wallpaper. Oh, not wallpaper, lino. It's quite amazing, isn't it? It's nice that it's left it open. You can come and have a look. Another bedroom. That's probably maybe the main bedroom, possibly. Another bedroom. It's really good, isn't it? Well, look at this. You know, I can remember beds like this when I was a kid. That's what our beds were like. Like that. And had little, if you look under here, little wire base. It's crazy, isn't it? And I can remember we used to have cupboards just like this. My bedroom, I had drawers just like this to put my things in. When I was a little kid, those cupboards like this looked like they were huge, and but today they're quite short. I remember laying in my bedroom at night time, and sometimes one of these doors would be left open. Mum would sneak in and do something, leave a door open, and you could see things hanging in there. I used to wake up in the night time, think someone was standing in the corner of the room. It's a true story. Yeah, so yeah, it's really nice coming to these places. Not too bad. Just love this kitchen. You know, look at that. I suppose you call it patina, but how that's just been scorched from heat and steam and food. How many meals is buried on that piece of timber? It's quite amazing, isn't it? What's this say? IOPS, the Nullarbor, Eyre Express. That's not someone wrote on there, 2023. They shouldn't just write on there, it's not for them to write on. Old shell. Gee, I don't know where that come from. That looks like an oyster shell. Beautiful little bottles. Look at that. Old oil filter. Can of something. Got a bit of sand in it. I reckon that possibly be a can of Spam. Little bottles. There, you know, someone cooking their dinner and they look out, watching old cars turn up, old cars leaving. Just a crazy time. Oh, well, let's go and look at some other things. Even when you look up here, see that wire there? That would stop birds and things nesting up in the roof and creating havoc. It's put there. I suppose that. Now look at that window. Now that's interesting. Oh, maybe it's just a normal window. Just boarded up, so it got broken. Old lights. Must have had a generator or something out here. Now look at that. You tell me how old that old clothesline would be. That must be just so old. It's fabulous. Maybe not literally, but you just don't know. Someone probably sat out here years ago with his mate. They sang here and had a couple of bottles of beer, the old long browns. I don't know if they still get them today, because I'm not a beer drinker. But yeah. Well, I'd say for sure that'd be a grease trap. Everything come out of the house, the water would overflow. How a grease trap works is the water would come into here and overflow over to there, but it'd leave all the fat behind. And then every now and then the farmer would come out and he would dig that out and go and bury it or something, put on his veggies or something. Oh, there you go, look, maybe it's the other way around. But anyway, you get the idea. Look at that, eh? Like, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. You know, not in the middle of Australia, but if you can just imagine the remoteness being out here, it's quite incredible, really. I suppose when I walk around I see old things, you know, it must be a bloke thing. Now look at that old hinge. When was that made? How long ago? What door was it on or something? Over here, some other things. Not sure what's happening here, just old sleepers, but look at that old tyre, gosh. Well, there's lots of cars here, there's some here. The big heap over there. But you know, these are all the cars that never made it across Nullarbor. That's incredible. What did people do? Well, I suppose they might be able to catch a train or something. I don't know if they broke down here. But I'll turn the camera around. We're going to have a look at some of these old cars. Now look at this old one. It's a Valiant, this one. Valiant used to have a slant motor, slant 6 motor they called them. And you know, what family was driving across here? Do you know what? I reckon the family would have been Al Capone, because this car's just got so many bullet holes in it, just like Al Capone's car. Jeez, look at that, eh? How did they ever make it this far? I know if you walk around here, there's must be a lot of rabbits here, because there's rabbit droppings and footprints everywhere. But you'd wonder how they dig a burrow in this ground. It's rock hard. So look at that old HR, was it HD? Anyway, blah blah blah. And you know, people would have come here and they would have pillaged these old cars for parts for their own cars going across. It's quite amazing. So, old Land Rover, probably EK Holden. FB or FC. Look at that. Gosh. You know, for me, from my bit of a mechanical head, when I look at those old car parts there, I just am amazed that they could cross Australia on an unsealed road And literally, you know, Eyre's story is, hang on, I'll just turn the camera around. You know, Eyre's mum, who's not alive now, but she had family that live in South Australia, so every year they'd drive to South Australia and come see their family. But Eyre was telling me that, you know, as a kid, you think about a little Volkswagen station wagon, not the most comfortable car. They'd drive across the old bumpy Eyre Highway that was unsealed to South Australia every year. How did that thing never fall apart, you know? Tyres and things are so much better these days. And I said it was that hot, they'd hang towels in the window, wet towels to try and cool off. They were just reckon it was just so hard. But there you go, you know. It's quite amazing. Amazing that people were so brave in those days, you know. We travel today with modern cars and modern caravans, and we've got a feel of confidence because, you know, if something breaks down, you know, you can ring up a tow truck and that. But you think in the old days, travelling along, if you break down, you're a goner. So anyway, we'll have a bit more of a look over here. So there's some of the evidence of rabbits. When rabbits go to the toilet, they don't just run and just drop it everywhere. They have little piles that they return to and make a toilet out of it. As you can see, there's another one here. When I was a kid, we used to go out catch rabbits. That's what you'd look for. You knew that if there was mounds like this of rabbit dung, you know that the rabbits weren't very far away. They'd have a burrow just nearby. Now here's an interesting find. A bottle dump. Now when you travel, like we've travelled out in the desert and things, you sometimes find an old house that has a bottle dump. You can literally find just some of the most amazing bottles. But I'm sure this one's been picked clean by everybody. As you can see, beer was the drink of the day. It's all long round brown bottles. But it's quite amazing, isn't it? Look at them all. Of course. Wow, look at that. I don't know what this car is, but old Ford, really old Ford. Look at those front hubs, old flat top motor. This one here looks like an old Chevy or something. Gosh, quite a lot of cars here. I'll go and try and find Irene. You know, visiting old homesteads and things is what makes travelling interesting. So the temptation when you come across the Nullarbor is just drive till you drop every day, till you get to where you're going. And you don't really see anything. And they say, oh, it's boring. Well, I suppose it would be if you're doing that. Now this car here, it's an old Vauxhall. When I was a kid, this is our first car. We had a Vauxhall just like this. And I can remember driving around in one of these. Amazing. Old FX or FJ Holden now. Old Falcon. Old Zephyr. It's a blokey thing knowing your cars. Les, if you watch this video, mate, here's one of your love childs, an old Falcon. Hope you enjoy it. Yeah.
How bald it is.
You know,
They didn't make it.
I'm sure back in those days, you know, before we go on a long trip, we check our tyres, we do everything to the car and all that. You know, they used to say, throw your bag in, we're off.
Yeah, that's it.
And, you know, they probably drove with just faulty cars and tyres that were bald, thought nothing of it.
You should have a close up and see how bald this top tire is. And then you think, oh,
Yeah, look at that. That'd be as smooth as my bum.
yeah.
What? No, it is.
I should know.
Hey. Keep that out. What's that?
An old Ford here.
Yeah, it's an old Ford. I was saying too that, you know, people that came here and camped the night in their old cars, as this broken cars, they probably pillaged them for all the bits and pieces
Yeah, right.
to fix their car so they could make it to wherever they're going. Oh, look at these old trucks. Not sure what that'd be. It might be an old Bedford. You know, tyres last a long time, don't they? Even when they sit in the sun for decades. I think this is a Bedford for sure. Looks like this Bedford must have rolled over, I'd say. Gosh.
Is that a Bedford truck?
I think it is, yeah. Look at those old springs down there. Standing the test of time. People camped over there. Might go and have a look at that little house over there and see what that's about. Well, I don't know what that is. The bottom of it looks like a engine block turned upside down. And they've welded something to the top, so maybe they used it for some sort of bench or something. A few bits over here. That looks like the top of an old windmill. And there they go.
Old telegraph line, maybe.
So this is the old telegraph station. So you could probably say the postman lived here. Do you want to shut the door, Tuss?
Yeah.
Obviously he lived in this bit and slept here. Check out that old vacuum cleaner, eh? Look at that. We used to have a polisher. That's a polisher, actually.
Yeah, she knows.
You put it on the bottom of that. There's 3 discs. You hold that like that, Toots.
Yeah, I remember these. Mum had one. Oh, Nana had one too.
Bend it down a bit.
Can you see the bottom?
See those discs? Yeah, put some horsehair kind of discs on there. They'd stick on there, and then you'd put some polish on them, and then you just go around the floorboards of the house and polish things.
Yeah. Oh, and old K-pop mattresses. Remember them?
Oh, look at that.
And these beds here. I can remember those.
Well, that K-pop mattress, my mate used to have a panel van. One day he flicked a cigarette butt out and it went straight back in his window, and we were driving down Canning Highway, and let me tell you what, it looked like a steam train. Those things burn, let me give you a tip.
Wow.
Wow, look at that. Everyone signed their name on the fridge.
Oh, really? People signed it.
Wow, look at these little pieces of history.
What is it?
Shells, bit of pottery, plate, little bits of old ceramics, and a fire that's cooked 1,000,000 meals.
What's it say? No fire in
Little
here,
sink.
of course.
Oh, look at these. What have we got up here? So some of these here, this is probably part of the old telegraph line. A little bit of a ceramic insulator, and even these, look, little bullet shells.
Oh, give us a look. Show me the bullet shell. Wow.
Little bullet shells. Maybe a little medicine bottle just there.
Yeah, because
Look
back
at
in the
that.
day, people had rifles and they'd shoot all the. You'd go past the signposts and they'd always have holes in them.
Yeah, look at that little old modern day mixer. Today they got Thermomix, and that was the old ancient mix.
Yeah.
We used to have one of those. Gosh, feeling old now. What do you think, Toots?
Yeah. Who's Halls? I don't know if I've heard of that. It must be South Australian.
Yeah, looked like an old Cotties bottle. Remember in the old day you have a cool drink, the Cotties bottle used to be like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Some more little trinkets over here. And people must have gone down the beach or the coast. You know, the coast is still away from here.
Oh,
And brought these back. So that's the old telegraph station. So what that means is that when the telegraph line came across the Nullarbor, you can see there's one of the old poles there beside that tree, or just beside the tree. Another one down there. So back in those days, I suppose there was Morse code, and also they'd probably have a little wind-up telephone, and they'd take calls and pass the messages on across the country. It's quite incredible, isn't it? They've put a new roof on it, obviously, but yeah, a bit of history there. Here we go. This is the old shearing shed. So there's some campers in here, but they'll be alright. We'll just go in there and have a bit of a look. Looks like he's setting up his bed inside. The old shearing stables over there. Hold the sheep. How are you, folks?
Oh, hello.
We'll just have a look in the shed, is that alright?
Yeah, go for it. We're sitting.
The people down there said you're supplying cups of tea and
That's
jam
it, yeah.
cream scones, is that
Tomorrow.
right?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Some people lie. It's terrible the lies, but yeah, we decided we would put our tent down and sleep in.
Oh, I think it's nice as staying in
We
here.
don't have to pack up in the morning.
Yeah, that's good. Well, we won't be in your hair for very long. Just want to have a look at the old sheep pens. Wow. That's pretty good, isn't it? Old shearing shed. I don't think it needs any explanation, but that's good. Old gate.
So we've made ourselves at home here. Another stretcher. I don't charge people for give them.
Yeah. Well, that's much nicer for you. You can sit down out of the wind tonight.
Yeah. Oh, they used to turn up today, have you?
Oh, we just parked down there with the caravan, but
You're staying here then?
yeah, we're going to stay there.
Yeah, the wind
No,
died down
the wind last night it died right down. It wasn't as windy as this though, but
Yeah.
it was quite alright.
No, it'll be right. Be nice for you here.
Got a caravan.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're alright.
Lucky you.
No, that's all right.
We've had
I think this was the old. Oh, I don't know. Actually, I'll tell you what I think it is. Could be where they used to dip the sheep. They'd fill that up with stuff to treat the sheep's feet and bits and bobs. And they'd walk them around and they'd pop out the other side and go back. Yeah. Well, after a walk around the farm, I've made an appetite. So I just heated up 2 nice pies, and we're just going to go and have those. So thanks for watching.